Do you know what? Sometimes I do get the feeling that the people at the top of the BBC just don't have a bloody clue what they're doing. Hi, it's me again, and yeah, another rant about Tim Davie, the boss of the BBC. Yeah, well, I've heard the guy talk, I quite like the guy, but I just don't think he knows what he's doing in this position. He said this same thing before, and let me show you what he says. I'm not interested in the BBC growing at the expense of the overall market. We don't need more share, we need to be relevant. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. If you're relevant, you get more share. How can you be relevant without having more people come to you? If you're showing something relevant to the people, more people are going to watch it. You're going to get share. It makes no sense. And this was like ages ago. When was this article? This article was in September. And then he's talking again the other day and he said this. The BBC's biggest challenge is staying relevant, its Director General has admitted. Tim Davie made the comments today at the Confederation of British Industry conference in Birmingham. He's still saying it. It's not about relevance. You want people watching it. You want as many people tuning in to your channels as physically possible, because then you can justify the license fee. You can justify the license fee at that point. More people using it means more people enjoying it, which means more people getting value for money and less people being agged out by having to pay you 159 quid a year for a service they dip in and out of. How much BBC do you actually watch? If you're a license fee payer out there, right? How much BBC do you actually watch? Do you have it on all day, every day? Or do you just dip in, maybe do a couple of hours a week when one of your shows that you like is on? You're paying 159 quid a year just to do that. ITV and Channel 4 and Channel 5 or the Sky channels that you might watch more than the BBC, they don't get any of that license fee money. It all goes to the BBC. For what? For your hour or two a week of it that you watch. It doesn't add up. It's not value for money. So it's not about relevancy. It's about getting viewers in, getting as many viewers as possible. Then they will feel that they're getting their value for money. And you won't have all this furore around the license fee all the time. Every time you open the papers, there's stuff about the BBC and the license fee. You can get rid of all of that by bringing in millions more viewers. But you can't. You can't. You don't know what you're doing. You've been gifted 3.7 billion quid a year in TV license fees. That figure comes directly from Tim Davie's mouth himself. And what are they doing with it? What are they doing? Name one of the big shows from the BBC that wasn't an Attenborough one. We'll give them a free pass on Attenborough one, although, you know, from what I've seen recently, they've gone a bit too climate changey for most people's liking. They were better in the past. Name one of the big shows that people are watching that comes from the BBC. I'll wait. You can't, can you? Because all the big shows that people are talking about are coming from other channels or usually a streaming service, because they care. They have to make good stuff, because if they don't make good stuff, people won't subscribe to them voluntarily and voluntarily give them their money if they don't make good stuff. So they're incentivized to make better and better and better stuff so they can get more and more and more people voluntarily paying the subscription. The problem with the BBC is they put out this narrative that the license fee isn't voluntary. You must pay the license fee. So they're not incentivized to make anything good anymore or do anything good with your money, are they? We have delivered big movies for TV, radio and news content, better representing and reflecting audiences across the UK, and we are committed to doing more. I can't name any of the big movies off the top of my head. I know they were involved in a couple, and the Alan Partridge ones as well, but they made profit, which funneled back into the BBC. They weren't doing it out of the kindness of their hearts, were they? It was a profit-making exercise. They're using the money that you paid through TV licenses to make profit. Also doing that through BBC Studios Productions Limited, BBC Distribution Limited, UK TV. I could continue. They have many commercial companies that like to make quite a few quid, but they still want your license fee money. And then it says here, radio and news content representing and reflecting audiences across the UK. I wouldn't talk too loudly about that at the minute, old Timbo. Hey, because you are knackering BBC News. BBC News, the 24-hour rolling news channel, is only going to be broadcast from the UK, was it up till 4 or 5 o'clock? Then it's going to be broadcast from Washington, DC, and be World News, and then it's going to be broadcast from Singapore, and be World News. And there's going to be ad breaks in it. And in the UK, you won't see the ad breaks. They'll be filled up with weather or just some business report like they do on Sky News. But Other countries will see ads. Why can't you just show ads in the UK? Then you don't need a licence fee for it and people can watch it, can't they? And now you're talking about radio as well. And I wouldn't talk too loudly about radio either because you're knackering that. Local radio is only going to be until 2 p.m. That's the plans that they're trying to come in. Then they're going to amalgamate all the content and just spit it out across big zones rather than being properly local. And it's got many people up in arms. Many people, more people than I thought, enjoyed local radio. So I don't get it. He's going on about you've got to be relevant. We want to be relevant. You're making these cuts all over the place and you're not making anything people like. Stop worrying about being relevant and start worrying about pleasing audiences and bringing in bigger numbers so people feel they're getting value for money. I mean, you've done this before, Tim, right? You worked, before he was head of the BBC that you pay for your licence fee, he was head of BBC Studios. I think you earned about £1 million a year there as well. And BBC Studios made a lot of money and they sell a lot of shows around the world. He is capable of this, but do you think he's just out of his depth or he doesn't have the help that he needs to get this right at the normal BBC? Is it too much effort to do? Is it too hard to do, what with government control and things like that? I don't know. But he seems like he's struggling with the job, doesn't he? And the best way to tell the BBC how you feel about them if you're a current licence fee payer is to cancel your licence fee. Again, ask yourself how much BBC you actually watch in a week, because that is the only thing you're going to miss if you cancel your telly licence. That's the only thing. You can still watch all the stuff on 3, 4 and 5. You just have to watch it on catch-up through the apps. And you've got them on your smart telly or on your phone, tablet, whatever. That's the only thing you're going to miss. You've got Sky, you're not going to miss Sky. You just get Now TV and you can stream all your Sky stuff on demand, and it's cheaper than Sky. You can still watch Netflix, Amazon Prime, all those things without a telly licence. And so many people still believe that if you own a television, you must have a television licence. That's why it's called the telly licence, right? It's not true. You can own all the TVs you want. The TV licence is based on what you use your television to do. Now, if you watch anything as it's being broadcast or use iPlayer, yeah, you do need a television licence. But if you switch to watching everything on demand and through catch-up and ignoring the existence of BBC iPlayer, you could be like me for the last 10 years and not require a telly licence. Hit my name down on the YouTube channel thing down there, and the first video that starts playing will tell you all you need to know. Have a good watch of that and share it with everyone you know. And it's the best way to tell the BBC how you feel about the stuff they're putting out and what they're doing with your money. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully, I'll see you in another video again soon. Ta-da.